What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane and Ross presented. Yeah, I said a podcast. We're expressing what our full capabilities till they want us in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child. I'm the dad half of this operation. Ross Cooper, fresh back from a long vacation, which was interesting. Might get into that a little bit later. But as usual, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
Last name paid me. First name, fuck you. Yeah, well, what's good, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. If you're watching on other platforms, please share with your friends, your family, pets, all that good stuff. And if you're watching on the tube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because if you don't, you might become a new slave.
Here we go, or an old one, as the case may be. So first off, I want to talk to the people, let them know we took a little time off because I wasn't here. Took a little trip all across the pond, as they say. Hit London, hit Mykonos, hit Athens. It was a very interesting trip. Um, Geez, man, Londoners, at least my initial impressions. Yeah, I don't know if the term "excuse me" goes across the water, but yeah, about halfway in my day in London, it was like, all right, I'm done saying excuse me. And if you don't move, that's gonna be between my shoulder and whatever you hit. Because I'm like, I get personal space is an American thing. Like we do a certain amount of personal space. I understand that that does not necessarily translate. And yeah, London, they don't. They'll say sorry, but it takes like you know how if we just pass in front of somebody, it's like, oh my bad or excuse me. Nah, they got to be like, if they don't literally damn near bump you, that's just normal. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like the best I can think of is like when you play international ball, there's no offensive goaltending. It takes a minute for your mind to adjust. Like, oh, I can take this right off and jamming back home. Same thing. It took me a minute to figure out. Oh, y'all just not gonna say excuse me. Okay, got it. So shoulder blocks for all, mate. Shoulder blocks for all blokes. That's what it's gonna be. Uh, um, but London was interesting. Heathrow Airport, I get it, but they tight on security. Like on the way back, they had 3 or 4 random screenings. I'll say random because it was interesting. Out of 6 people that got random screenings, I think 4 of them were black. That's some interesting randomness, if I do say so myself. Um, Mykonos is cool, just a shit ton of walking, and there are cats everywhere. Athens was cool, a lot of fresh food. Like they don't do fast food well. I found a McDonald's there, a KFC there, and they had some kind of burger joint, and it was just yeah. But they do fresh food like Greek salad and everything else. It is different there.
You mean regular
But now
salad?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess what we call Greek salad, but that's the other thing too. They don't do lettuce in their Greek salad. That's like the regular salad for them. They don't do lettuce in their Greek salad. I'm like, yeah, because we just throw lettuce in every damn thing over here. Salad, throw on a whole head of lettuce, and I'm like, not even spinach, just lettuce. But no, it's the food is fresher and everything else. But it did not a lot of black folk there. At least not where I was at. I was in Athens, capital city. They're square and went to the Acropolis, and it's also interesting hearing history told through a Greek lens. And like, we borrowed from the Egyptians. I'm like, oh, that's what they call it. That's what the kids are calling it now. We borrowed from the Egyptians. Oh, okay, all right, I'll allow it because
I
we're in
borrowed
Greece.
that lottery ticket. Yeah, I borrowed it real good.
Like, so we you borrow. Okay, it's also interesting historically hearing about the Christians because Greece had no problem with nudity, no problem with penises, ironically, because they made sure to get that right, boy. Like every drawing had made sure digging balls. Like every drawing had penises on it. Like, all right, I salute.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess that's
like
where
they
it came
they
from.
they they made sure, boy. Like, yeah, we gonna be anatomically correct as hell here. But it was interesting hearing like how when the Christians showed up, it was like, oh no, y'all got this clothes on. Like the first Olympic Games was ran naked. And the Christians came through, it was like, oh no, y'all, yeah, y'all might want to cover all that up. Oh, by the way, we tearing some shit down and putting up a cross. Like, damn, Christians, the missionaries, boy. And I hate to be that guy, but I'm like, how ironic that the Christians have such an issue with nudity, but not in it. I'm gonna resist. I won't do it. Nope. I'm
Not in
I'm not
what?
gonna do it.
Not in what?
I'm just I'm just saying Christians certainly had an issue with nudity, but
But
behind closed doors, y'all don't seem to have an issue.
oh, kids. Okay.
Do 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 do.
I haven't said nothing about Catholic police in so long. I'm so proud of myself.
I'm just saying it's interesting historically. Like, so y'all, nope, y'all didn't want all the penises out. Y'all didn't want to see all the nakedness. And behind closed doors, y'all had some other ideas. But okay,
Well, it's
alrighty.
behind closed doors. So you won't. You weren't supposed to find out. It just happened. You know.
I'm just like, wow. Like, so put opinions away, at least not in the open.
He's not
At
grown
least,
ones. Me too. Yeah. No, go ahead.
oh damn. But yeah, that was where I was, and we couldn't record because international rates would have been ridiculous, you know. So we get some more sponsors, get monetized, I'll reconsider. But yeah, that the international rate would have been ridiculous. But came back, found out that the world kind of caved in on Kyrie Irving, and I'm like, well, what the hell did Kyrie do this time? He ain't take the vaccine. Y'all mad at him for that. What could he have possibly done this time? Apparently, he posted a link to a movie that was anti-Semitic, that
Air
fresh
quotes.
off the heels of Kanye West. You know, the ears, the antenna is up. You say anything remotely close to anti-Semitic, you getting shut the fuck. Oh, you gonna
Oh,
pay. You gonna pay. So I'm like, all right. Now I will start off by saying this. I have not watched the movie. Couple reasons. I,
either.
I mean, one, I just honestly, I don't give a shit. I'll explain why I don't give a shit in a bit. Two, sometimes you don't have to watch the thing. You can look at the reactions to the thing and get an idea of, okay, this is what the temperature is. Like I didn't have to be there when the bomb went off. I can look at the debris and kind of tell, ooh, this is bad.
Yeah, but this ain't that clear cut because there is two different sides saying completely two different things. So it's basically like they're trying to figure out who planted the bomb. If it was lying about who planted the bomb. I
Well,
haven't watched the movie, so I don't know.
I
But
mean, I personally am not going to. Well, actually, hold on, real quick.
is it free? Is where
I'm
is it? On
I
Prime
think
Video?
it's on. I think it's on Amazon still. Maybe I don't know. They might have pulled it. So you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you be the Jeter of this. I'm gonna let you do the lead off.
No,
Where are you sitting on this one, sir?
no.
Based on what you do know.
I kind of wanted to be like the Devastator, put the finishing punch. Just fine. I'll go first.
Oh, okay, you know what? Cool. I then I'll do Jeter. I'll be the Jeter. I'll be the captain. Um, I just okay. I will start from the overarching space of this. I don't give that much of a shit. Here's why.
Hmm.
I believe there are arguments that we should be having. There are conversations as Black people, as Black men, we should be having. This is not one of them. And the reason I believe that is this. What if for a second we go to Bizarro World and say, you know what? Kanye is absolutely right. You know what? Kyrie's absolutely right. And Black folks are the original Jews, or we are equal to the Jews, and so on and so forth, and Jewish people, blah, blah, blah. What if they're right? Here's my problem. It doesn't change shit. It doesn't get us reparations. It gets us, for at least in my estimation, a badge of honor
Well,
because
actually, never mind. Technically, it could.
the act because the inherent issue here, from what I understand, it is we're the classification by the classification would not change our treatment by the dominant group, being white supremacy, white people. So if it was somehow said, hey, you guys actually are Jews, um, One, I honestly think, I'm not trying to win the oppression Olympics, but one of my problem is the reparations owed to I got Tariq Nasheed voice. The reparations owed to foundational Black Americans
Oh, boy.
far, far, and that's just a point of reference. It does not be pledged allegiance to Tariq Nasheed. This is me just saying for the purposes of making this conversation simple. I will borrow his term. Um, the reparations owed to foundational Black Americans far, far exceeds what we would be given if recognized as Jewish people. Not to mention the Jewish people that one Mr. Hitler wanted to wipe out really didn't look like us. So I don't see where getting the classification or Kyrie being right, we the original Jewish people. I don't see where that moves our needle today. And I'm about moving that needle. Two, I don't look at what the Jewish people have the power to do, the power to cancel. It's not just racism with them. You say something with them, it's a real word. It's anti-Semitic. I'm not mad at them having that power. That's what unity does for you. If anything, I look at that as okay. If that group of people can have their own economics, their own banks, keep their money in their own community, and have enough cachet to say, hey, if you speak against us, we can affect your bottom line. We can affect how you move and how you're perceived socially. We can affect your opportunities. I'm not mad at that. We need to do the same. We
We
need to
do.
say, hey, if
But there's
that
a
group
reason for
can
that.
do it,
There's a reason for that, but go ahead.
yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not looking at that and saying I'm mad you have it and I don't. I'm saying, cool, we need to get us some of that, and you showed us the blueprint.
I'm
So I'm
mad
not
at
gonna
you
spend
abuse.
no. I'm not spending a whole bunch of energy and time trying to we original Jews at it because it ain't gonna get us the power. We here. We're here, right? And are we owed a shitload of money from the U.S. government and probably other governments? Yes. But until that time comes,
They won't.
we need to pool our resources. We need to look at our brothers and sisters and say, hey, how do we get a piece of that? How do we create that for ourselves?
That is true. We had it, but it got destroyed.
True, can't do that now though. I said that when we talked about this before.
I don't
You
know.
can't pull that shit
Considering
off
that
now.
they're easily taking apart billionaire black people who you said out your own words are uncancelable and literally got canceled in 2 days. They can do it.
400 M's ain't broke, dog. Like, I mean,
No,
I
but
get that's the thing. 400 M's ain't broke.
to us. But like you, I'm using your own arguments against you. Let's just say if that was Jay who said that shit instead of Kanye, same thing would happen. We're
You know,
not
beauty.
uncancelable. We're still black. This is what I try to tell you.
I
You
mean, if
said
Jay,
no, two people. Some people are just too big to fail. They can get away with damn near anything. No, you can't. You
I
say
mean,
something
hold on,
about
hold on,
that
hold on,
group,
hold
it's
on.
over.
Okay,
It's
hold on.
over.
So let's play in your sandbox real quick, and I'm gonna let you take off. Let's play in your sandbox real quick. Oh shit. I just bumped into that accidentally. Real quick, we'll get into it in a moment, but rest in peace to take off.
Oh
That
yeah.
was a tragic situation. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But let's pretend for a second this is a different circumstance. We had a conversation a little bit ago off air about the reason Kanye is problematic is because he's only pro-black when white people don't like him. And you jokingly said when specific when one white person doesn't like him.
One white woman used to be his ex-wife. But go ahead. Yeah.
Right. Now let's complicate things. Kyrie and Kanye both don't have the protection because how does this play out if Kanye and Kim are still together and on great terms?
Same way.
You think the same way? Oh, I absolutely don't think the same way
I do.
because of the proximity to white. How can it?
He
How
still
can it?
has white kids.
I, that's and I'm thinking I'm
I
bugging because
mean,
I'm not even
he's
in
like
the
I said, he's
me.
still in proximity to them. They're just because they're split and quote unquote back, he still has a family.
Oh no,
I'm tied to that name.
he's been excommunicated from the Kardashians. Like he's gone. He's
Still,
excommunicated.
I mean, there's he's still the father of those kids, though. So he will never be
Good.
completely excommunicated. So what are we saying? He still has a tie to them. So
No, I'm looking big picture here. You can enact all these sanctions, so on and so forth, on Kanye individually, and it has zero impact on those kids or those Kardashians.
I don't know about the kids part, and I don't know about the Kardashian because she has to keep answering for him.
Yeah, that's because
It's like the
paparazzi.
same thing with the NBA. Why LeBron punk? You know, LeBron and everybody
We
else.
gonna we gonna get that. We gonna get to that.
You know, I ain't
Because
gonna
I'm a
go.
little.
You know, because now he backtracking because yeah, you know, fuck it, fuck all those people in sports, except for I guess one person. Fuck all you. You know it's bad when I gotta agree with Uncle Ruckus. That's bad, and you should know who Uncle
Yeah,
Ruckus
yeah,
by
yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's like if I'm
For those
agreeing
who
with this
don't,
mother out of all of y'all, that's the Matrix is glitching, bro. The Matrix is glitching. But oh, yeah, it's just yeah. I think the same thing would happen. Now I think if it was Jay, the same thing. Any black billionaire you think that has sort of power that can be quote unquote uncancelable, if they would have said the same shit Kanye said, the same thing would have happened. Still
I
negative.
mean,
Say
I
Jay said it
mean,
himself.
I think Kanye is an interesting case study. Now Jay Z is a less interesting case study because Jay Z. See, here's the thing, and this is one of the things about quote unquote marriage. It's not just one person; it's a couple, and it's power, and it's legal. So even if you come at Jay, you got to remember Beyonce's worth I think slightly more than half a billy by herself.
And they were
You're not just coming at Jay, you're coming at an empire now. You see what
yeah,
I'm saying?
but
It's
their
different.
empire ain't Jewish empire. We know this. Let's stop playing around. It's not even close. It doesn't even scratch the surface. So yeah, and you saw what they tried to do to Beyonce. Just off of Super Bowl shit, they tried to get her the fuck out of here. Now, granted,
Oh
she
yeah,
didn't say, but I'm saying,
and
but
that was
that
the
was just
beautiful
against
flip
quote
of it.
unquote white people. That wasn't Jewish people. So let's say she did some anti-Semitic shit at the Super Bowl instead of doing, you know, the pro-black thing and say middle finger to white America. Then that'd have been a whole nother story.
And you
Then
know
she
the
might have
reason,
got all the way the fuck out. I'm just
and
being
you know
sincere.
why you couldn't? Because she's married to a billionaire. It's
You just
it's
saw what happened
insular.
to a billionaire. He's worth less than half of that. They took more than half of his shit in 2 days. You think they
Okay,
can't do that to Jay or B?
okay, what I'm saying is because he's isolated, this gets interesting. So if you saying your
Because he's
thoughts are,
isolated. Wow. So then you know what the easy thing is to do? Kill them both. Not literally, but figuratively.
I mean,
Because I'm
in
pretty sure one is going to ride for the other. So
I
they're going
mean
to both
in
be in compliance to that, and they're going to use that as like, oh, so both of y'all agree with this shit. Okay,
to to
done.
quote the to quote the great black thought, to kill a lion separated from the pride. Kanye separated from the pride.
Or kill the whole pride. There you go.
There's no reason. You need to kill a lion. You don't need to kill a pride. You need to kill a lion. He
Why?
separated himself from the pride, so he's an
No.
easy target. This is
Kill
not
those
to take
two.
it back to the kids' days. This is Lion King. Ain't no way a hyena, a pack of hyenas is gonna fuck with a lion's pride. But you take one lion, now the hyenas can get him.
But these
And
aren't
this is pretty
hyenas.
much was
These are
these
hyenas.
are I mean
These are a pack of Bengal tigers with grizzly bears. That's bag up. You ain't fucking with that shit. I don't care. This ain't hyenas.
you stupid.
Like, this is Bengal tigers, the biggest cat on the planet, with a grizzly bear behind it and a rhinoceros as a bodyguard. Like you're not doing nothing with that if you're a lion pack. So or pride. I'm sorry. It's just let it
Oh, like
go.
I said, the killer lion separated from the pride, and Kanye separated from the pride. Now the question becomes, like I said, this gets a lot more interesting, a lot more layered if him and Kim are both on great terms. I'd love to see how that plays out
He
because
probably wouldn't have said
now,
this shit. If we going hypotheticals that way, I don't think he would have said this shit. Because now like I said, what you just said, he's really bugging right now because his wife don't want him. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have said none of this shit that he's saying, having a public mental breakdown again because he lost his woman and she's getting banged by another dude. Like it just seems like a outburst and a depressive and all this shit. He needs a hug and therapy. And like I said,
I'm
he probably feels his back is against the wall. He has nothing to lose, so he just gonna just start firing.
well,
Oh,
I mean, the whole thing was to illustrate. Like I said, the whole thing was to illustrate his his point that Jewish people have power to do certain things if they wanted to.
Well,
And
we
look,
knew
his
this.
weapons they couldn't. Right, I was gonna say, but that's what we
But
talked
we
about in the last show. This wasn't a six. This
nah,
to me, this wasn't a $600 million lesson.
it wasn't.
But bringing it back to where we started to Kyrie, this is different.
Very
And the NBA issued this list of conditions. Let me backtrack. He was suspended 5 games, and the NBA listed this list of conditions for him to return. Money must be donated. He got to get sat down and talked to by some Jewish folks. And I'm not being dismissive. I'm just paraphrasing here. And we're all looking at this list like, what? And from one all-world Duke point guard to another, Jason Williams had a very, to me, thought-provoking piece where he mentioned the term bug breaking. And for those who don't know what that is, it is an American slavery term where when you had one slave that was really going and leaning towards that Nat Turner type shit, on some revolutionary fuck this type shit, you had to break them. You had to break them. You had to break them publicly. So the next time a slave thought about getting out of line, here's your example. And like even with Nat, I read an article not too long ago. It wasn't just okay. Nat led an insurrection. He was killed. No, Nat was killed. Nat was skinned. They turned his bones into shit. So it was real horrific shit.
They tortured the hell out of him.
It was real horrific. So you wouldn't have any thoughts. And contrast that to contrast that to John Brown. He just got hung. White guy, he just got hung. But that, no, they had to send a message. So in American slavery terms, buck breaking, yeah, they would rape.
You can't say dudes.
I'm sorry, they would sexually assault dudes in front of their family and everything else, just to discourage and show you're not in power. We can break you at any time. And I was like, wow, that's a hell of a reach there, Jay Williams.
Is
and
it?
not a reach, not a reach in the sense of you reaching, but to reach to that bag, like whoa, that's that's some that's
well, here's the
that's some real
example.
shit.
Here's the example. Because there was, like I said, a basketball player that actually said a derogatory term, the K term, toward Jewish people on a gaming thing, and he got the fuck out of here. They got him out of there. No apology, no none of that. But Kyrie, all he does is post a link, like, which I will say is a disclaimer. I've never seen them film or any of that shit, so I don't know if it's very enticing. Like one side is saying, or the other side is saying has nothing to do with that. It's really about Black history and where we come from and all that shit, which I'm pretty sure was what Kyrie meant to do when he posted the link.
Mm-hmm.
But since he was specific about what he wants you to see when you watch the movie, so that left people for interpretation. And when interpretation to the public is very ugly, because then you can just reach like everyone's doing now, whether either side. So now I don't know unless I watch the film, and then like I said, we'll see if I watch that shit. And like I said, I kind of agree with you. I don't care, but
I don't. I definitely don't care enough to watch that movie. But like
But
I
if
said,
it is very anti-Semitic, they say, quoting Hitler and they saying the Holocaust didn't happen, okay, then that is very problematic. Which I'm still sure that Kyrie wasn't trying to promote that. It was probably more of his history and his spiritual and all that shit. But he didn't specify on that shit. So that's where he fucked up. I acknowledge that. But this shit is going too far. This is literally buck breaking. He, like I said, he apologized. He donated $500,000 before this whole dumbass list came out. You didn't accept it. Cool. That's in your right. So now the apology's not enough. You gotta do like a whole 6, 7 point list. Like
this is
for it to be deemed worthy, just to be maybe reinstated. They didn't say it was pop. They like maybe will reinstate you. Like at this point, just fucking cut me and just say I'm banned from the league, bro. Because you literally is Buck. You want me to get on my knees and beg while you're lashing me. This is five like not Dr. Umar voice, but I'm getting like he getting like 45,000 lashes in front of everybody for posting a link. I'm not. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and the funny thing is, I mean, listen, For those wondering, keeping score at home, according to everything I've read, Kyrie Irving, as of right this moment, is worth 90 million. Nike is problematic. Nike has said they're going to be cutting ties, but again, Kyrie Irving is worth 90 million right now.
Yeah, Nike.
Now, see, Nike is like, I boycotted you for close to 20 years. You ain't seen me in a pair of Nikes until just recently. And the
Nah.
reason, this is where this gets interesting. I rocked with Nike because they were one of the only companies that still buy Cap. And that meant a lot in that whole campaign. So how do you go from standing by? That's the part. Like Phil Knight, the CEO, comes on this goofy shit. Like, how do you go from standing by Cap to you're not fucking with Kyrie?
That's proper. Well, that's easy. That I don't know why you confused with that. That shit's very easy. Like I said, the cabinet thing, like I said, the pro black shit, it's real powerful. To be real. Now you say some anti-Semitic shit, that's not profitable. As we know, it's very, very touching your bottom line. So you kind of have to cut ties with motherfuckers if they get associated with that. And two, shout out to Jaylen Brown, who said the fucking obvious. It's like, oh, so Nike all about ethics now? It's like, do you know where all your shit come from?
I mean, but we knew that.
But I'm saying, but that's you can't pick and choose what's ethically cool and not. Like, so it's cool for little boys and girls and all that, be jumping out of windows, committing suicide, make your shoes and clothes and shit in China. It's cool for, your biggest China who was actively racist as fuck towards black people. But most of your main athletes are black who bring in all that money for them to make all the clothes and shoes that you sell to the public of the world. So it's like, your ethics is real slippery, slopery, my guy. So I don't want to hear that shit from you, Nike.
It's a matter of what you can tolerate.
I don't want to hear.
Don't.
So we're tolerating. Humans violations and child labor law violations.
We don't ask questions here as long as we listen. Now we got to go into the London.
No, I do. So no, you shut up. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about ethics. We don't stand. Well, you stand for something that's damn near just as worse. So what are we talking about?
It depends on what you
It's not a depend, dog. We know it's real. You boycotted for a fucking reason. Now all of a sudden, because they still with Cap, you got right back on the bandwagon. Now since they chose your true colors again, now you're on the fence. You see how easy it is to fucking fuck with people and think that they rock with you? They don't. Newsflash. There you go. Stop this shit, man. This Matrix is so fucking good at what it does. I'm amazed. I'm amazed.
Here's where we go down that rabbit hole. Ain't one of us gonna be able to be but so ethical. So that's why I said it depends on what you can tolerate.
Now, I'm not saying it's the most ethical because you're trying to cut ties with someone for posting a link. And everyone knows damn well this motherfucking anti-Semitic. Everyone knows that. But they're trying to make an example out of this motherfucker for posting a link. And then I also think that this is also a link back for all the shit that happened these last 2 years about him not wanting to be take the damn jab. I know everyone was hot about that, especially because he plays in New York, and you know how they get down when it came to the jab. And he was speaking out, and he has a quote unquote big audience, so everyone's paying attention. And the government, CDC, all that shit don't want people to actually absorb that shit, even though it came out now recently that all that shit was bullshit. But hey, it's okay. People lose their jobs and all that shit every day, B. You be all right. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Just say, like I said, the Nets owner is Jewish, and the Brooklyn area is primarily Jewish. So I get that part. But
I mean,
like I said,
we ain't going. I don't have the stats to back that up, but go for it.
I mean, I heard that from one sports show. I don't know if it was Fox or not, but then again,
I can't.
You gotta take that with a grain of salt. But okay, whatever. I'm pretty sure there is a high Jewish population in New York City. That is true. But it just seems like this is extra because they don't fucking like Kyrie for all the shit that they quote unquote put them through the last couple years since he's been in Brooklyn, especially the vaccine shit. So I'm pretty sure that's added on to this shit. So it's an easy excuse, to slap the label of anti-Semitism towards him. So everyone else will fucking hate him, do the job for him, and then they can use the excuse to cut this motherfucker. But I'm like, six list, like, y'all don't. There was just recently a video, of a sister at college and a white tea girl, calling her all types of slurs and assaulting her. So we as the black community, we want an apology. We want 6 things to happen for her to be reinstated to go to school. And we want reparations for all you white people. That's what we want as a people too. That's what we should fucking do. So that part I agree with what we should do. Anytime someone does something anti-black. But we don't. And we can't. Get the fuck out of here. Hate this shit.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you get your stuff off.
What else is there? Oh man. Yeah, this is definitely buck breaking. This is over the line. Like I said. And all that last year term, Ashy Negroes and FS1 and ESPN. Fuck all y'all. Seriously. Negroes and Negras. All y'all there. Fuck all y'all. I had to actually agree with freaking Uncle Ruckus. Look what y'all do to me. I ain't deserve this.
Jason Whitlock did have a very interesting piece, and for once, I try to write. Look, truth is true, and
Hey, bro,
everyone's
right
not
twice
going
a
to
day.
be. Yeah, so every now and again, you know, Jason Whitlock will say something that's like, "Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense." Every now and again, Candace Owens says something that, "Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense." In general, they don't,
Yeah.
but yeah. With like I said, with Kyrie, it's a very interesting thing. I'm looking at this incident because he's a flat earther. And I saw somebody make an argument. He just don't want to play ball. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
you're just yeah, it was just
They just
some of the
don't want
stuff
to
you
play
see.
ball.
Right. Some of the stuff you see is just like, what? I'm not even ungracious with a response because you're a moron and you're projecting.
Well, if
Um,
you don't want to play ball, you retire.
that's what I'm saying. Like, so do you even know what you're talking about? No, clearly not. Because I'm like, if Kyrie don't want to do something, he ain't gonna do it.
We've
Like,
seen
that's
it.
one thing we do know.
We've seen it.
I don't think he did all this just to not play ball. Like,
No.
anywho, but no, his argument was I can't be anti-Semitic if part of his argument is I can't be anti-Semitic if I'm Jewish anyway. If we're the original Jews, the original people, and I'm like, all right. I mean,
That
and
would be true
still
if that's true.
still falls under the umbrella of that's just not the conversation I think we as black men need to be having right now. Um, I think something Killer Mike said is really something I've thought about hard and long, which is, in so many words, brothers ain't ready for revolution. You are still connected to the system. And what he outlined was if you can't grow your own food, create your own shelter, you are trained in hand to hand combat. You are weapons trained. You don't know how to live off the grid. If you don't know how to do these things, and you ain't really about revolution, you're still too plugged into the matrix. That weighs a lot more to me
It
than,
does.
well, we might be the original Jews. I'm like,
I mean,
and I'm like, I say, okay, even if you're right, what does that mean?
nothing. It's not gonna be treated equally like them anyway. So, like I said, I guess it helps in the sense that okay, we can't be anti-Semitic. Sure, fine, but still gonna be treated the same. And like I said, I agree with
No,
Killer Mike. If we can't do those things, and some of the things are illegal, which is for a reason. But if you can't do those things, then yeah.
no. Everything he mentioned was legal. We know. I give it up to our
I
brothers
think
in the
growing your
South.
own food, if you're not like licensed or whatever, I think that is illegal, my guy. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
No, it isn't.
But
It's black farmers. It's black farmers everywhere.
yeah, but they're farming, they're selling.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, but I'm saying for yourself and like not selling, I think that's the what, we can do that another time. But I'm pretty sure that's legal. But either way, um, yeah, we're nowhere near ready for no fucking revolution. Revolution won't be televised because it ain't gonna fucking happen. But
I mean, that's my thing. We gotta that to me is more the conversation.
yeah, but we
It's
keep having these
it's
ashy
more that
Negro
conversation.
conversations. Like, we're too worried about
Yeah, and
fucking
like I said,
relationships, genders, and all this shit. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. Come on.
no, I can't do that. I can't jump on that boat with you because it's like I'm not gonna pick. Again, I'm not gonna knock anybody else as the oppressed. I'm just saying for us, our conversation is different. If those though, like you can do, you can do two things at once.
I don't give a fuck
If
about
you
none of that
feel
shit.
like, if you feel like your battle is gender based, all right, cool.
It shouldn't
I'm
be.
fighting a slightly. I
It's a
can't. How can
distraction.
you say it shouldn't be?
It's a distraction.
Distraction how?
Distraction, bro. Why are we still having these same beefs we've been having forever since we were slaves, bro? I know this. You know this shit was by design, right? To keep us separated. And no one fucking realizes that shit. And we keep egging on each side. I gotta be right. No, I'm right. Motherfucker, we both right. Let's go. I don't care. Like, what is something that you said, and you've been right. I don't care if you gay, straight, trans, you believe in God, Allah, whatever. I don't care if you identify yourself as a fucking belief. If you black, if you're a respectable person with some type of moral, whatever, just a respectful, decent human being, and you with us in the cause of making this world a better fucking place, I don't care about none of that. That's all individuality stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying those people are not being oppressed and assaulted, abused. I get that part. That part I'm concerned about. But we keep egging this shit on. That's why I'm saying it's a distraction. None of that shit should matter.
Mm, eh, I,
That's why I'm saying we keep egging, we keep having this shit, these dumb ass conversations still that really shouldn't. You would think in 2022, not to be 2023. Goddamn. Um, we will move past all of this other social shit. Like, we can't get socially shit right with us in our own. I'm just talking about our own community now. Fuck society. I'm just talking about with our own in the black community. We can't get the social shit right with each other. We keep having high school ass conversations and being dead ass serious and get very emotional about it. I don't care. We black. We all we got. The world has proven this to us throughout our whole history. When is that going to click? That's a serious question. When is that going to click? Because if it ain't gonna be us, it's damn sure not gonna be somebody else on the outside trying to help.
I can't.
So
Okay, I get it. It's just my issue is, at least for me, I'm not gonna minimize someone else's struggle. If you are black and you're a part of the LGBTQ plus community,
you with us.
and I'm aware of that.
Okay.
The best thing I can do is roll out the carpet because um if that is how you choose to identify first,
We
right?
do with anything.
I'm aware. Like you said, I said I can't minimize somebody else's struggle.
How to
I'm
minimize. Like,
aware, totally minimize. If someone is
it's
black and part
not.
of that community, and that's
You
the
hold up,
part.
hold up. I don't care what you identify. What is your name? What do you want to be called? There you go.
No, 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 not, I'm not talking pronouns. I'm saying if the part you lead with, if the
Go ahead.
part you lead with, hey, I'm a member of that community, and
You're
that's
black.
where my
You're a member of my
priority lies.
community regardless. I don't. It doesn't matter. That's why I hate humanity. We have so many subsections of shit that we don't need. For real. You think any other fucking animal kingdom has this many damn subsections? Okay, then. And we supposed to be the smartest. That's the shit that's blowing me because y'all don't understand how divisive having so many damn subsections within a subsection. That shit is crazy to me. Is we black or not? All that other details, that's for you as an individual, and I will respect that. And that's it. We don't need to project shit. Like I said, we have subsections within our own black community, just our skin color. I'm
All
Jamaican. Oh,
right.
I'm
See,
Dominican.
this is
I'm
where
black.
this is.
I'm Haitian. I'm this. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. We both dark skinned. So what does it matter? Like, come on, bro. All these damn subsections, all these damn divisions. Why do we care? This is all pointless. None of that shit matters when you die. Like, come on. Worry about shit that we can control that's more important while we're here. Oh shit, that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, bro. If the world was ending, you think I'd give a fuck what nation you part of? No. If you was gay straight, no. No one would care. Everyone would be worried about survival and probably trying to help each other. Right. So get the fuck out of here. All that shit. I'm sorry. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm sorry. But I understand if you do. Fine, that's cool. But I'm just saying it's all devices and all distractions because we're just looking away from the bigger goal, and that's the shit that bothers. But that's it.
I love it. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm real cautious to not step on somebody else's struggle. I get what you're saying, but I'm also cautious not to step on somebody else's struggle. And the thing is, if the idea is we need allies, right? I can't afford to be dismissive because it might cost me a soldier. So, while what you're saying in principle is correct,
Never say
right?
anything dismissive because all I said, I even said I respect you as your individual, what you do, but we don't need to put separate labels on shit. We all black, right? I don't
And
need to hear
you get the beauty of that because, and see, this is where it gets weird. You get to say that because you are part of the dominant group.
of what. Of what?
You are just a regular guy. You don't identify with any other
How do you
different group,
know?
so on and so forth.
I never said.
I'm just based on what I know of you. That's all. I'm just saying, like,
Okay, but that shit can change. I don't have to announce it. I don't like.
here's the part where here's where the breakdown communication is coming in. What I'm trying to explain to you in real time is this: if someone identifies with a different sect first, then
That's
I'm
stupid.
going to respect that
Stupid.
because what I don't want to do is lose a soldier.
That's stupid. Identify as black first, and then you can put that.
You don't get to make that choice for them.
Then then what are we doing?
Right?
Then
That's
but no,
that's the thing.
and
That
then
and
we're
that's the
forever
part
going to
I'm
be,
saying.
and then we're forever going to be in chains because we just keep divisive. Like that doesn't make you special. Me being the quote unquote dom doesn't make me special. None of this shit matters at the grand scheme of things. This is all individuality. Shit, I can't even fucking talk. Look at individuality type stuff, like personal
So
stuff.
here's here's
And
here's
that's
the,
that
here's
is,
the,
and I'm not saying it doesn't matter because they're not being oppressed. I mean, we're black, we're all being oppressed from something. We have a common goal of something. Because
so
at the
you
end of the day, white supremacy and any other race that comes at is not going to matter what you identify and what subsection of black you
okay.
think you are. They're going to see you
So
as for who you are with that skin color, and then that's going to be that. So I'm saying put all that shit to the side at least until the job is done. And then we can
so
do all these
you
damn dumbass subsections we want to do. But until
so you
then,
want to
like,
be
come on.
you want to be right. You want to be united.
Okay, so we've
That's what I'm saying. You want to
no
be
no
right.
no. It's not about being right or wrong. Because technically I'm right.
Clearly,
I'm right. Because we keep
see, there
having
you go.
because no, listen, no, listen, 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 listen,
There
listen.
you go.
No, you want to know why I'm right? Because we live in a society now where we have the subsection, and it's very cool to be all these different subsections, and you announce it to people, and that leads to tension, and this is why we keep beefing, and we can never come together. If we put the subsections aside and just say, "Yo, we all black people," what there be to argue about? If I don't
Why?
come out and say I'm this, that, then black, if I just say, "Yo, I'm black, you black," cool. What is there to argue about? That's what I'm saying. But
That's
when you put up different subsections, like I'm a different group, like you're trying to separate yourself from us, even though we're all the same in terms of what we go through on the outside. And of course, individually, we're all different. But as a black people, we're the same. So I'm saying, why add more divisions and more terms to confuse people or whatever, when we can just all just say we're all grouped in together, we're black, dog. That's not going to change. I will love you for who you are because you're my people. I don't care about that shit. I'm not saying this from a hatred term that like you trying to push on me, like I don't care about your struggle or that. I never said that. I said I respect you for who you are, but I don't like all this subsections and all these divisions that's making it easy for someone to just have to keep doing this. And when we keep doing this, guess who's easy for the taking? Everyone else. Why do you think we can't get reparations? Why do you think we can't do this, that, and the third? Why do you think we can't be like the Jews? Because we keep fighting about shit that don't matter at the end of the
I
day.
mean, they're not fighting. Here's where it gets interesting.
We're fighting.
Anyone, oh, you're fighting. Because here's the thing: you want someone to identify in a manner that makes it easier for you to digest.
No,
And
it's
I'm
easy for
saying is
everyone to digest. We're black.
not at all. You missing what
What
I'm
is
you,
okay,
you
okay.
missing what I'm
What is the
saying. You
point of
missing what I'm
having the
saying.
subsections though? What is literally the point? We're
And
human.
this where
We're
it comes
black.
in.
What
You're
is what is it?
if
Because
you're not in the subsection, then you don't get it.
but I'm not sitting here saying I'm a straight black man, blah blah blah. I don't identify. I just say I'm a black person.
Okay. And if someone chooses to identify other than that, hey.
Okay.
Because like I said, I
But
don't care
but
about being right. I
but,
care
but
about
you're gonna
having
try to
privilege.
okay, so you would rather argue and have the same dumbass conversations we've been having for haven't had knows how long than to just like put everything to the side, make this shit easy, and we can wrap this shit up like very quickly? Or we rather just keep beefing and let us get picked apart slowly by slowly, generation by
So
generation, and then we just keep getting shitted on, and all our uh what is it? All our offspring or whatever, future generations keep getting passed on the legacy of getting shitted on. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I just think it would just be easier. I just think all these subdivisions is stupid. And I'm not even talking about sexuality and gender or that. I'm talking about we got fucking nationality in there too, all types of shit. Like, bro, we black. That's why I don't agree with the fucking FDA bullshit. Like, bro, we black. How we gonna be xenophobe to our own people? To a land that we don't even fucking own, that we built, and they still refuse to pay us. What do I look like? You just got off the boat, my African brother. Nice to meet you, my guy. We still in the same boat, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck out of here? And I know the other side too about them coming over there and putting their chest out and all that shit. That's bullshit too. So I'm like, bro, we'll always be in cages because we keep doing these subs, and it's a pride thing. And I don't mean like gay, I mean like a little sense of pride thing of these divisions that you want to claim to see that you're better. And I'm like, why? Are we equals or not? What are we going with this? Are we equals or not? Answer that question. I have to identify as this to my chest out. I'm a FDA. I don't even know if I am a FDA, whatever, but might be half, but half FDA. I'm better than the African or whatever it gets out, or the gay or whatever. No, I'm no better than nobody. We all black. Let's come on. Kumbaya, mother. It's not gonna happen because we're gonna keep having these dumbass conversations. So it's all right. I love y'all though. Still love y'all. Should probably
like
move
I
on.
said, like I said, I'm literally thinking of okay, and that's the part I don't get. If someone wants to identify as whatever they want to identify as, like I said, in a nutshell for me, do you want to be right or do you want to have allies? And I think at this juncture it's way more important to have allies
We're not having allies now. We're letting everything
because we're
ride.
literally
We're letting everything
mm,
ride.
the thing you literally just said, the diatribe you just went on, is partially the blame because you want someone to set aside how they identify.
Everybody. We're black.
Yeah, that part's obvious. However, there are people who want to identify with some other part of that first. All right, it ain't for me to say yay or nay. That's a problematic
Just
not.
why though? Like I'm
But
I'm just I'm just I'm
okay,
just
so
I'm
what's
no
the
I'm
bigger?
just I'm just trying to understand like what is the logic between that? Like you have to have different we have to have all of these different subsections.
Right, and
Even though we're the
like
same thing. We're the same
the part
thing.
I'm trying to get you to understand is you're asking the wrong question. It doesn't
How?
matter.
We're the same thing.
We need allies. It goes back to what we started
We're
this
the
with.
same thing. Where is this? We need ally shit. There shouldn't be no fucking condition that we have allies. That's not a real ally if it's a condition, my guy. That's transactional. What are we talking about?
Because if someone says, "Yo, I'm gonna ride with you, but I need you to recognize this part of me,"
Cool. I
all
don't
right.
care. Let's go. What are we talking about? I just
Because
said I
you
don't
literally
care
just said,
about
"Well,
that
why
shit.
can't we put it aside?" Like, I don't care if you do it, don't.
I said I don't
At the end of
care.
the day,
I'm
if
see,
we on the
listen.
same
See, I
page,
think you're getting my shit misconstrued. As I started off saying, I don't care what you identify or whatever. We all black. If you're with me and you're a decent human being, I'm cool with you. I don't care. Or anything you fucking want to identify, I don't care. So that's why and when I say put it aside, it's like I said, you can tell me every day, I don't care. I will call you about what you want to be called. And then we can move forward. There we go. But if you're going to sit here and try to have a whole fucking conversation and debate with me, why I don't care about none of that. Come on, are you coming or not?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I
So
just don't
circling
understand
back,
the subdivisions and all that shit. I don't personally understand. But I don't, like I said, I'm not going to beef with people for having that shit. I'm just saying, okay, you're trying to beef for other people to make sure they understand the shit. But I'm like, what? You know, we've been talking about this subject. It's damn near a couple of us with something else.
I mean, final thoughts on brother Kyrie. I'm like, I don't think it's a conversation worth having for whatever reason he does. I don't think the backlash and these conditions in the play ball are warranted by any stretch of the imagination.
Hell no.
Neither does LeBron, neither does Shannon Sharp, neither does brother Jason Williams. Quite a
Mm.
few folks
Yeah, but
are like,
all of them flipped, except for Jay. I don't know what Jay Williams said at first, so I don't know.
well, I
But
mean, as you always say, two things can be true. Look, and LeBron said the best. Look, I don't agree now. I'm quoting him. I don't agree with any speech or anything that's hateful. However,
say that
this
against China, then maybe.
nonsense, this this nonsense you're asking him to do. Oh, that's fucking out.
Oh,
That's out of this
okay.
world.
So
Like
you
now you're
can
going.
get whipped, just not whipped too much. Gotcha. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Listen, the
Go ahead.
fun part about life is the ability to download new information. And what you say
Who
on
was new?
Monday. Well, hold on.
Because all those Ashley Giggles have a past of saying some real shit, especially when it comes to Kyrie. So this is why I'm not with the notion that they really had to change their heart. I'm really with the notion because everyone was on their ass about this shit and questioning their blackness. So now they want to flip script. But go ahead.
I mean, we've seen LeBron's pretty much uncancelable. There is no incentive.
He's not.
You understand, there is no incentive to ride
I'm
with
saying
Kyrie.
uncancelable. That's not a real thing. Stop. Go ahead.
There is.
No, it's
There's
not.
no incentive. I mean, I'd gladly be canceled for 400 million, but as I was
You gotta
saying,
have a billion first.
okay.
So get that, then you can be okay. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but I'm like, uh, if I make a statement on Monday, it is based on all of the facts and things and information I have on Monday. That is not to say a statement I make on Thursday is not the byproduct of having new information or different understanding from Monday.
But you went.
So,
I see that part is cool. But if you don't have all the information, you shouldn't speak on it. Because then if you can avoid all that shit,
welcome to the real world.
and then also,
Sadly, welcome
well,
to the
then
real world.
also the reason why I'm not done, why I think it's all bullshit and half-ass, not they all flipping the script, because they went so hard the first time. It's not like they had some, they was walking the line the first time. They went completely on the other side, calling this man out his name, all this stupid yada yada yada. They went hard. Like they played a part of the lashes. Like they were giving the lashes themselves. So now when they do it and it's even more harsher or more lashes, now it's like, oh shit, okay, all right, chill out. 45,000
Well,
lashes is cool. We don't need a million. Relax.
here's another uncomfortable. I can't say uncomfortable, but here's another truth that escapes everyone because of the society we live in. You know, everyone had the ability to really just shut the hell up. Like that. And I gotta look to my man The Rock on this one. You know why we don't have these problems? He doesn't have these problems because he has a pretty good way of shutting the hell up about something unless it's really, really sticking in his craw.
But I'm like,
Because I'm
well,
like,
but see, that's a problem too, because didn't you have an issue with the quote unquote broad the bald frog because he never speaked up? That's a
um,
double-edged sword.
no. Hold on. You got to be smart to pick and choose. Like Kyrie didn't have to post that link, and then okay, he did. Again, it's all choice. You can do whatever the hell you want to do,
Free
but
country.
Kyrie didn't have to post that link.
Okay.
That's one. Two, LeBron didn't have to say shit
He didn't.
about Kyrie posting link.
He
No
didn't.
one had to say anything
No
about him
one
posting link.
did.
Because
But
now most people would have to be backtracking and walking back statements if you just shut the hell up to begin with.
I agree.
Like
That,
that's
that's
the
not what
part.
happened.
Right. So it's like it's not lost on me. See, I don't really buy into the whole it's a distraction because no one needs to be distracted from anything. They put it in your face. You're not going to do anything about it. So I don't buy into the distraction talk. I will say like it's just interesting to me what people tend to. I gotta
So,
speak on this,
so how
and I'm
many
like,
people know about the next topic we're gonna talk about?
what's topic?
The slave thing.
A lot more.
Somebody
Like I think
say,
a lot more in your generation than
somebody say
ours.
the distraction is kind of working, especially for Brett Favre. Oh yeah, Brett Favre happy about all this shit.
Oh yeah, right now Kyrie Irving is Brett Favre's favorite player.
Man got
But
controversy. Brett Favre is about to go clean state after robbing the poor to feed the rich. That's crazy.
the reason the next thing we're going to touch is literal slavery was on the ballot in a few states, and it's like slavery doesn't exist. Well, actually, legally it does. You've heard us talk about this ad nauseum. The 13th Amendment exception clause. Um, what it did is it pretty much said you're free except when you go to prison. Now, let's do this real quick. Slavery was a means for economic gain. The 13th Amendment ended slavery, which also obviously ends economic gain, unless you find a cute way to somehow still profit off of said people. That's a lot of money gone in one shot. A lot of money. So within the 13th Amendment is an exception clause that says, by the way, you're free unless you go to jail. How does that play out now? In certain states, if you are a prisoner, you will do work, you will be paid nothing. In other states, you will do work, you will be paid pennies. For those of you who pay close attention, I advise you to look into the work of my good brother and real life abolitionist, Max Parthas out of South Carolina. He literally does the work of abolitionists. When I met him, like, I don't, what do you mean abolitionist? Slavery's over? And kind of schooled me, like, oh shit, I had no idea. You can also look at the documentary by Sister Ava DuVernay, The 13th, which is still on Netflix, I do believe. But that being stated, there were states who had to literally vote to get rid of slavery. And oh, excuse me. Alabama, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont all voted to remove exemptions allowing slavery or involuntary servitude from their state constitutions to ban slavery. Excuse me. Clearly, I'm allergic to slavery, to say the least. And by the way, this is coming from an article through the BBC. But guess who decided to keep it? That would be Louisiana. Good.
Popeyes.
Louisiana. Hey, hey, hey. Paraphrasing the articles, 800,000. There are some 800,000 prisoners who currently work for pennies or for nothing at all. 7 states do not pay prison workers any wage for most job assignments, and prisoners can be punished if they refuse to work. Wait, hold on. So you don't get paid anything, and you can be punished if you refuse to work. Doesn't that sound a lot like slavery? Hmm. 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 And Louisiana voted to keep it. And let me see here. It says involuntary servitude is still technically legal as punishment. So let's play a quick little game. Okay. Law enforcement, and you heard us say it, you know where I'm going, existed initially to catch slaves. The 13th Amendment said there are no more slaves, except when you're a criminal. So what do you think law enforcement morphed into?
Modern day slave catchers.
Ding, 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 ding. Tell him what he's won, Bob. Yeah. And it's just people, I keep telling you about it. I have these conversations offline with a lot of people. And they hate when I reference law enforcement's picks. Why do you hate law enforcement? Why don't you da 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 da? And I'm like,
I mean,
I can
history likes to
only
go.
I can only attribute it to the lack of knowledge of history, possibly. Maybe you don't understand history because there's no way you could understand the relationship between slavery and law enforcement and think for any moment I could ever look at law enforcement like, hey, it's great. And like I said, I've amended it. I've said, look, on an individual basis, if you can give me a cosign to someone before they put that badge on, cool. But other than that, it is literally possibly uh, detrimental to my health to believe in law enforcement. But yeah, somehow in Louisiana, after elections, slavery, quote unquote, or indentured servitude is still a possibility in Louisiana. I like you mentioned a while ago, it is 2023, about to be, and we're still doing this.
Yeah.
I'm just the fact that we had to literally vote on it, but okay, cool. But then the fact that it was voted on and voted down, I'd advise if you were black and in Louisiana, you really reconsider some things. I get it, that's been
Take your
looped into everyday life
take your
for as
Popeyes
long
around.
as Louisiana has been in existence. But they're literally telling you, no, we're okay with slavery. It's cool. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's
And this is
that
what
is
I said.
bananas.
We are a long ways away from reparations, my boy. Like I said, there's a lot of dominoes that are falling so fucking slow. Like I said, not too long ago, I think last year or couple years ago, they made lynching an actual hate crime now, or whatever, or a federal crime. Like what? That wasn't already the case, but okay. And now, like I said, slavery is still legal in some states. So yeah, long ways to go. Hopefully, generations away, we won't have any more slaves.
Well, I mean the fact that, it's taking a while, but let's and I'm gonna be eternal optimist here.
Yeah, you are definitely.
We're at a point where law enforcement is being held accountable
No, they're not.
for the
No,
crap that they do.
they're not.
That's absolutely that's factually not
No,
true.
it's
You
not.
know that.
That's factually not true. I've sent you. Like I said, I could send you countless videos of some fuck shit happening and nothing happening to them. But I choose not to because makes me just want to go the Joker route. And I'm not gonna specify because you ain't gonna come knocking down my door. But yeah, so yeah, it's not working, buddy. It's not. Trust me, it's not. It's
Well, here's the thing: if once upon a time 20 black people were killed by police and none of them were prosecuted, and we now live in a world with 20 black people killed by police and three of them go to jail, is that a high ratio? No, but it
So this
starts
okay. So you're
somewhere.
saying there's a chance me and you, get killed, and the higher chance is nothing happens to him. That makes you feel real
Well,
good.
I
So
mean,
we're
here's the
so
thing:
we're so we're settling because it's 3 out of 20.
it
Uh,
was just 0 out of 20 a minute ago. That's what I'm saying. Should
so
it be
so
20
you so
out of
you so
20?
you're making me
Absolutely.
so hold on. I'm starving, but you gave me crumbs, so that was better than having nothing. It's the lesser of
Yeah,
two
'cause-
evils. No, I'd rather starve.
so you'd rather no
Give me,
one.
give
So
me, give me what I want, or I'd rather starve. We're not doing this half-ass. I'm good with fucking crumbs. We grown men and women.
that's
No,
not how. Yeah, but that's not how the system works. You know that.
wow. That
Like
sound that
I'm
sounds
not
like
saying you're
it
wrong.
sounds
I'm
like the
not saying you're
system is
wrong.
the problem then, huh?
Yeah,
Who would have
we
thought of that?
absolutely.
Who would have thought of that?
Well, here's the thing. As I said, let's circle back to what Killer Mike said. And until we get to that point, we really can't. It's but so many conversations we can have, and that's the reality. Until we have that conversation, then we are at the whims of okay, the wheels of justice turning ever so freaking slowly. But when we have more of those conversations, when we are more in line to organize, to protect our folk, to be our own true
I
community,
wonder why that's not. Why is that not happening? I just went on a whole rant why that bullshit ain't happening, but okay. So that's why I'm saying, like, well, okay. So I'll settle for crime school. Three, well, actually, probably like 2.5 cops. Get okay. Yeah, if system's working,
Nah,
thank you.
like I said,
Uncle
yeah,
Sam,
you know,
appreciate you. Appreciate
hey, I'm just saying, like, until, and like I said, that's on us. But my hope is, look, we're moving in a direction where we are actually acknowledging. Now, again, I'm not blind. I do understand this critical race theory BS, and there's a lot of places that want to get rid of it with good reason because I think they see down the horizon what's about to happen.
you. Which
If
is
on one end of this, we are now having open conversations about slavery, about the abolition of legal slavery, about finally getting rid of that 13th Amendment exception clause, you know what comes next?
what?
Because getting rid of that clause means you have to acknowledge it happened. Should be obvious, right? But it's not. But
Bro,
here we are. So we're saying we're going to get rid of that clause.
I hate these terms and all this politics bullshit, man. Just say how it really is. We're not gonna get the shit, bro. You can't deny the shit. It's like saying denying the Holocaust. We saw all the motherfuckers die. It's like denying slavery. How you gonna deny slavery? There's probably still some people left who was alive during that shit, or literally their parents were a slave. So what are we
Okay.
talking about?
All right. So hold on. Let me ask you a question here. All right.
All these sugarcoating terms, like, come on, bro. We all grown here. I
So
get
let's think about this logically for a second. So because we
nothing
wanted
about
to,
this is logical. But go ahead.
so because we wanted to, we have snatched down just about all of the slave statues. We have changed names of schools, buildings, everything else to erase the slave history. Right? So you take that, then you couple it with these goofballs and their let's no critical race theory. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna have white kids feeling bad, blah blah blah. So now we have a recipe. See where I'm going here. We got a recipe where on our end of it, rightfully so, we got rid of all slave shit. We got rid of all
Okay,
the
but
monuments.
but no, we didn't get rid of every history. That was mostly their doing. We still have many museums and all this shit that lists all the slaves and everything. There's still
Right.
information about all things that happened to us of American history that is still there. That will never be gone. So
Really?
no, I get what you're saying. There is still black
Because I'm
museums,
about to
all this
because
shit
here's the
that
thing.
happened. And
I'm about to say in 2 generations, how do you prove it? It sounds crazy. But between us rightfully
we
asking
still
for
want
this
to use
shit to
monies.
get done,
Well, we still want to use like a tangible money into
barely
general.
do we we barely do that now. I would
I'm just saying because if that is still around, then there's a proof right there. Everyone on that shit is a slave owner. So what are we
it
talking
gets all I'm saying is
about?
2 generations from now it gets increasingly more difficult.
No, that's it. You know what? I ain't gonna be here for 2 generations. I don't give a fuck. Y'all have fun with this shit. Yeah, I have fun with this. I don't care. I'm trying to make shit right while I'm here. If it don't work out, that's all y'all. I don't care. Straight
But
up.
yeah, there are well not there are not more than one. There's Louisiana that somehow decided, hey, slavery is okay, and I'm like, wow, wow, I didn't see that coming. I thought on a bit, but then again, you know what? One of the biggest mistakes is appealing to morality because you find out very quickly people's morals. That goalpost is a moving one, boy. Like some of the shit I think is obvious clearly is not obvious. Like I think it goes without saying you don't have slavery, indentured servitude, or any parts thereof in your constitution for a state. Kind of makes sense to me. But you know, somehow Louisiana's like, no, that's okay. It's totally cool.
You're a criminal. Don't go to jail. You won't be a slave.
Sounds about right. But
See,
that's
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 what I mean. That's easy to say to quote unquote be like, well, you don't go to prison, you won't be a slave. So how's that hard?
right.
Until you get to the details of
And right, I'm about to say, and yet here we are
that.
with 5 Black people are incarcerated at a rate of just about just about 5 times more than white people. And I'm sure if I broke that down to white men versus black men, that ratio goes up. So yeah, but I get it. We're not the dominant culture, and that's the other harsh reality that we face. Um, well, I mean, we really had a lot of stuff to touch on, but we've already eaten up a lot of time. I think we've got this at a good place. Um, Yeah, it's a blackity black thing, and as a black man in this country, it's a very interesting spot to be in because, like I said, while I don't go with a distraction notion because I don't think there's anything that we all need to be distracted from. Like, there's no big secret about such and such. Louisiana's in the South. If there's an issue with Kyrie and all that's never happened, those results don't change. I don't think it's a distraction. And while I don't put a lot of faith into the system, quote unquote, I'm aware, and this is where my issue with brother Kyrie, Kanye, and all these other cats is, look, until we're ready to have the Killer Mike conversation, because everybody's not. Some of us are going to take the Jay Z route and put our money in certain places, and we want to. We talked about we want to bend the system to work for us.
It
In
won't
certain
work.
cases, certain cases it has.
Oh, it
But
doesn't. Okay. Whatever. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. It doesn't. But that's how this shit is gonna stay. Because motherfuckers like that believe that. But go ahead. Matrix, baby. I love
but and for those of us who think otherwise, until we're really ready to sit down and discuss the conditions I like, the Killer Mike conditions, there's no reason to distract from anything. That's what kills me when you do something. Oh, it's a distraction. Pay attention. Ain't nothing being hidden.
well, maybe. If you're trying not to have history repeat itself and spawn, another Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, stuff like that. If that's what their plan is, then it's working because we have yet to get one.
I mean, the world don't work that way though. But yeah, ain't nothing. Like I said, just saying, ain't nothing being distracted from. Because they don't need to put it outside your face. Like, look, people, people my age and older, this is social media fault. But nah, we need social media. It kills me because if you see a lot of
Double-edged
bullshit on
sword.
social, if you see a lot of bullshit on social media, it's because that's what you follow. My algorithm is dictated by what I follow. Do you get some one off, some random shit every now and again? Sure. But by and large, your algorithm is dictated by the shit you following and liking and looking at. So if you're gonna look at some revolutionary shit, guess what you're gonna see? You're gonna see more of this person or that person. If you're gonna look at what this celebrity doing, that celebrity doing, that's what you're gonna see.
I don't care about that shit. But yeah.
So that's what I'm like. Ain't no grand distraction because honestly, I don't think we need to be distracted from anything. Because like I said again, if Kyrie never happened, Louisiana still has slavery. Doesn't fucking matter. It is what it is. There's some very
Well,
interesting
but it'll be a
facts.
less of a topic where the main media sources would not be focused on this and they might be focused on that. And we can't act like this isn't the microwave era where everyone clearly pays attention to media and is influenced by media. So, in a not maybe the literal term, but in some term, it is a distraction for the
And
masses.
I apologize. And this is where I gotta draw a hard line. It's a distraction if you let it be. And that goes back to what I just literally said. Like, yo, if that's the bullshit you follow,
I
yeah, you
agree. But this is the microwave era where everyone does follow all the main medias. And if the main media wants to put a focus on this is what everyone, for the most part, is going to be talking about, besides,
yeah.
a few people like us or whatever. And
Like I
that's the
said,
problem. If the masses are distracted by this bullshit and there's only a few of us, that's where my problem issues where you could say it was a distraction. Because if we're all focused on this shit, it might have turned out different. I don't know, but it might have. But
I
we'll
mean,
never
like
know.
I said, we'll never know, but like I said, I guess we can predict because Louisiana is Louisiana, South is the South. I'm sitting like literally, like I'm in Texas, just had elections. The governor literally watch folks die when it froze down here. Lined pockets of constituents, energy companies who profited through the roof, right? Worst snowfall in Texas in over somewhere like 100 years. Do you remember that? 2021 got on like 0 degrees down here and snowed. Everybody lost their shit. People literally froze to death. They've done nothing to change the grid. There's been no payback of those funds to my knowledge. And this asshole is still reelected. So it's not distraction. Don't be distracted. They're standing on their own. They're standing on and in their own dumb shit.
They are, but how many people are really but how many people are, like I said, if we had, I should just say for our sake of argument, we had two networks that would talk to certain people. We had like a Black Panther network that will focus on all the shit that we go through that is under the sun. Or for white people, you had like a or just in general, let's just say we had a BBC type news network, but here, not we didn't have to go overseas to get the truth. We had a straight to the top, to the point, that focuses on shit that us as a society and U.S. citizens need to focus on instead of the bullshit. If we had two medias like that, it might be different. That's what
Oh
I'm
no,
thinking.
right
I think
now,
it might be. If there were two
I
major
mean,
medias that told the truth and did not rely on the bullshit and clickbait or what's hot, some of
eh,
my stuff might be different. Because like I
old news
said,
adage: if it bleeds, it leads. Been that way in media for years. If it bleeds, it leads. And that's, I mean, you're right. I wish there was something that you could be straight through because the closest I've come to in the U.S. is Young Turks, but Young Turks even they are kind of left leaning, but they're straight through. Bill Maher's problematic, so it's hard to get. So you just got to pick and choose. But I don't believe there's some great distraction because honestly, there ain't a whole lot they can't do in front of your face. We're not gonna that we can do about it.
I mean,
But
yeah, I mean that's true. They did tell
yeah,
your
yeah.
ass
That's
to
somebody.
stay in the house.
What did he distract me from? What did he distract you from?
Stay your
Like
ass in the
for real.
house.
Now again, we go back to and where we started with Kyrie and this whole Jewish debate. Um, Money sadly still controls most things.
It's grows everything.
So, so that's I'm like, what's interesting is, and I'm not, and I again, you can make there's some very uncomfortable and unconventional conversations to have, and I could honestly say jail doesn't work as a whole.
We
We
don't
know the death.
okay.
We
We
know
gotta
the
stop
death
saying
penalty doesn't work.
uncomfortable. We just say we just gotta have conversations, man.
No, because these are the conversations. Because in public sectors, these are the conversations that make people uncomfortable. They'd
Good,
rather talk about their
good.
sports team.
I don't give a fuck. That's cool. Ravens won. Yeah. Now, so what's up?
But that's why it's uncomfortable. So we know the death penalty doesn't work.
It
We can
does.
honestly make an argument
It's racist.
that jail itself doesn't work.
There's no
Um,
rehabilitation going on at all. Just slavery. We just proved it. Go ahead.
you know, we can talk about how it really doesn't matter how you vote because as long as there are two parties, it's a matter of who got paid off
Yeah.
first.
Left and right Twix. Yep. Keep going.
So that's what I'm like. Yeah, we really need to talk about how no matter what we do, what we vote for, underneath it all, these people in a lot of ways are bought and paid for with very few exceptions.
You do this next. Like all
You
this
know,
shit is coming.
but
Well,
then the
maybe the
reason
prison part.
the reason I mention that is because the reason I mention how money controls it all is because once you have economic power and economic freedom, it really doesn't matter who's in office. So the
Nothing
part
matters.
that so the part that I'm trying to loop back to is I get it, lock the vote, vote or die, blah blah blah. I get that. But and I get this whole hey, we might be the original Jews. I get that. The part that matters to me most is look at the economic power and the influence that comes from it. That's where the conversation is. To me, not oh, we might be the original. Oh, like okay, great. What can we learn here? And that's the question I think we should have been asked for a long, long time. I don't think we need to be sitting here mad about it. What can we learn? We see the effect of economic unity.
I
We
don't think
see
he's.
the
I
effect
don't
that that
even.
has.
I don't think it's something that we need to learn because we've done it in the past.
Mhm.
We've literally done it. We have the blueprint. We're not doing it.
So
Because
in that is exactly, in that is where the conversation is.
at least
What
back
was
then it was preventative. Now they can't be obvious the way they did it back then. They can make certain
what
deceptions and loopholes as they do now, but it will be a lot harder to stop us now. But it's very easy to
with
stop us because we're getting fed poison every day.
well,
So
like I said, with respect to Brother Kyrie, I just don't see where that's the pertinent question here. When it comes to the conversation between us as Black people and them as Jewish people, whether or not we're the original Jews really doesn't hold any
It
weight
doesn't. It really doesn't.
because the bottom line is what you're looking for is to be viewed in a different light by the dominant culture, and in the dominant culture they see white and Jewish as two different things. So even if hypothetically everything was true and the original Jewish people, which still does not put us in the position of dominant culture in this country.
But it
Right?
puts you in a
So,
position theoretically of dominance of everything that's important in
and
this
we can
world.
do okay, and we can do that. We can attain that, and as you just said, we built that. Minus having to make that identification. There's no knock to them. I'm just saying, like I said, it's not the conversation that bears the fruit that we need.
It's
At least
not.
not.
I mean, like
It's
I
it's
said,
not the conversation that bears fruit. So I
plus
don't
if you don't
think
believe in it, who cares? Like this is all faith based. Like I said,
that's that too. And it's
so
like I'm not knocking brother Kyrie if that's the hill you want to die on. So be it. I'm not wanting to tell you otherwise. I'm just saying like all of this backlash and everything that's come with it is like mind blowing.
because they
Because I'm
hate
like,
it. Because like I said, even though they, like you said, they don't identify as white, they're their own race. Like I said, that's why they usually hate the term that black people are original Jews. They hate that shit. What about passion?
I don't
So,
know. I
so
again falls under. I haven't had a conversation.
well, no, I know that for sure. But either way, like you said, if we are, if we are, it's not really going to change much. We still have a lot of work to do. So okay, we black Jews, great, let's go. Not everyone believes in that shit. So what? So why does it matter?
Uh, so we got stuff we didn't get a chance to get to, but we will by this time next week. I'm sure you'll probably saw Black Panther 2. I
Consider
saw it.
Tuesday. Yes, sir. I don't know
Okay.
about next week.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can talk about that. Reasons why you shouldn't eat pork because there's plastic.
Already
Ay,
don't.
ay, ay. And gosh, our favorite emo rapper Drake. Ay, ay, ay. That's another band. That's just I used to rock with Drake, and not so sure I can anymore because it's like
Oh,
you got Kanye being openly anti-black, and you have this dude being covertly anti-black woman, and it's like
hmm.
my rule is real simple. If you're not about black women, you ain't about black people, and I don't really make exceptions on that one.
He is a
And
hybrid.
you've been showing time and time again you might not be for black women. That's a problem. But we can't get rid of Boosie, so
Could have been J. Cole. So, but he couldn't. But he didn't. Which people do forget that he's biracial too. I kind
I
of,
I, I totally didn't know, but
I
okay.
kind of forgot. No, I knew. I just forgot.
I totally didn't know.
He's been on this black shit for so long. I forgot.
Yeah. But with that, folks, we're gonna wrap this one up. It's been one hell of a conversation. As always, welcome comments. We will see you same bad time, same bad channel next week on behalf of the I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yeah. Well,